Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit, and tonight we got SmackDown for September the 23rd, 2022. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. If you want to see a lot of this other content from me, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, hit the like button, comment down below, follow the social medias at Misfit Wrestle TV, and all that good stuff. We got to talk about a new match announced for Extreme Rules, which is Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross in a strap match. We have the undisputed tag team title match between the Usos and the Brawling Brutes. We had some other stuff, more teases for the White Rabbit. Another one was revealed today, sort of, but was technically revealed earlier. Somebody leaked it, but we'll talk about that and more. We are going to talk a little bit about AEW Rampage, some of the big notes that came out of that show. Not going to review that show, but I'm going to talk about two major talking points of that show, at least in my opinion. And I'm actually going to talk about those before I actually talk about SmackDown. So on Rampage, the opening match was Darby Allin and Sting versus House of Black's Brody King and Buddy Matthews in a no disqualification match. Near the end of the match, the Great Muta, the legendary Great Muta, showed up, hit a Dragon Screw leg whip, and misted Buddy Matthews to help Sting and Darby get the win. Then later on in the day, Noah Pro Wrestling and Noah, the people who Muta works for right now, he currently is on his retirement tour. They announced that in 2023, Sting will be traveling back to Japan to team with Great Muta for his final match in pro wrestling. That is great news to hear. Probably one of the best options for him, if we're being honest. One of Sting's greatest rivals, one of Muta's greatest rivals. That should be good stuff. Also on the same show, not the Noah show, but on Dynamite Rampage, Hangman Page won the Battle Royal to become the new number one contender for the AEW Championship. So at some point we're going to get, I believe it's on October the 7th. It's a Tuesday Night Dynamite in Canada. I believe it's one of the shows in Canada. It's going to be Hangman Page taking on Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship. That should be fun. So there's that. So that's all I'm going to talk about for Rampage. I didn't really care for much of the show outside of the Great Muta thing that I wanted to talk about and the Hangman Page thing. Anyways, let's talk about the thing that I want to talk about that a lot of people are a little mad about. Sort of. Not really, but the White Rabbit stuff. So like I said, it's been a week. The first time we saw this whole White Rabbit fiasco start was last week on not last week during SmackDown. During the commercial breaks, they were playing White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, sorry. And it was, no one knew what the hell it was about. We all thought it was about nothing. Then the next two nights they played it at house shows, and then on Raw they did it again. This time they added more to it. So there's a QR code, like I said, if you watch the Raw review on Raw, there was a QR code with a link that sent you to a thing called Come With Me, and he was playing the game of Hangman, asked you who killed the world. It said you did, and then it flashed on the date of 9/23, which was tonight. And we find out where that was next. We found out quite early because somebody somehow got a hold of the link, or somehow either somebody at WWE accidentally leaked it or somebody found it. I don't know how it happened, but it gave you the coordinates of the site of Monday Night Raw this Monday I believe it's it's in Canada. That's all I know. And it gave you the venue that's going to happen at, and then it also gave you, I think it's basically, the term is killing of one's father is what the term of this word is. I'm going to pretend like I know I'm not going to attempt to pronounce things at this time of night. But the first thing I thought of was a promo from Bray Wyatt back in 2012. I think it was 2012, back in the FCW days, one of Bray Wyatt's first promos. He talked about that his kayfabe father, not his real one, not IRS, but his kayfabe Bray Wyatt father character, had a boat. The boat got caught on fire, and he drowned with the boat, implying that Bray's the one who killed his father, and that just ties back into all that stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen on Raw. Maybe another QR code, but all this is leading to the return of Bray Wyatt. Everyone's getting excited. This is one of the most unique things that WWE has done in a very long time. They're keeping it close to the vest. They don't want people to know about it. They don't want people to blab it out of who it is. The talent doesn't know who it is. They're under the impression it's Bray Wyatt. A lot of the staff members don't know who it is, but they're under the impression of Bray Wyatt. There's crows in the back. They are there by design, which I didn't even notice that they were back there until some people started pointing it out to me. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm assuming this is going to lead to Extreme Rules, where I'm assuming we're going to see the return of Bray Wyatt, or the next night on Raw. Because I believe the next night on Raw is the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. The new, I guess, era, sort of, the new setting. I guess we're going to get new stages and stuff like that, maybe, under the Triple H era. But I'm excited. I'm just excited to see where this goes. I did also find out that or it's either during the show or after the show, WWE staff members placed the coordinates and the picture of the White Rabbit on people's cars. So that's just, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. But that's the White Rabbit stuff. At this point, I don't think it has anything to do with Karrion Kross, or Scarlett, or anybody else. It'd probably be Bray Wyatt. Let's move on to the Friday Night SmackDown. Some interesting stuff happened. One of the best opening segments of the show happened, where the Bloodline came out with Roman Reigns, and they were basically officially inducting Sami Zayn into the Bloodline. And so, not a lot is said by said by Roman. Roman looks at, this is also the first SmackDown since Solo Sikoa stupidly had to give up the North American Championship. I still can't believe that was a decision that WWE went with. Anyway, so Solo Sikoa acknowledges Roman Reigns. Then he looks at Sami, tells Sami to take off the Bloodline shirt because they are wearing new shirts saying "We are the ones." Sami's out here wearing the old one, and first we all thought we're gonna like get our hearts ripped out here. And what happened was he was just playing with Sami, gave him a new shirt. Meanwhile, in the back, Jey Uso is just seething. He cannot wait to beat the shit out of Sami Zayn. So I'm excited for this. See where this is going. I'm assuming this is going to go. This is leading to Kevin Owens helping Sami Zayn out of this whole mess, and we get Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos, the tag titles. I love that Jimmy and Solo and Roman and even Paul Heyman's like, Sammy's cool. So we'll see what happens here. That's going to be pretty cool. But it's an honorary Uso shirt that says SC on it, which stands for Sami Zayn. You know, and they're also trying to promote that match that not a lot of people want to talk about between Logan Paul and shit. Then we got our first match of the night: Lacey Evans versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan trying to get racks up wins to when she eventually loses the women's championship, hopefully, to Ronda Rousey. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Liv Morgan. I'm not feeling her as champion. Basically, this is a boring match. Lacey Evans is not very good in the ring. Lacey Evans disappears and then shows back up every once in the blue moon. She's like what's that person's name? Who was it? Who was it that Vincent Brierly booked that showed up once in the blue moon? She's like Drew Gulak, who shows up once in the blue moon. There, that word. That's what I was looking for. After the match, so sometime during the match, Lacey Evans went for get a Kenzo stick, going to try to use it against Liv Morgan. Backfired. She hits the Oblivion, which is a great move, by the way. That I do like that move. Uh, then after the match, Liv Morgan decides to beat the ever-living shit out of Lacey Evans with the kendo stick, then put her through a table with the senton from the top rope to the outside, and that is building toward her match with Ronda Rousey at Extreme Rules for the Women's Championship. Then we got a backstage segment between Hit Row. This was one of 3 backstage segments between Hit Row, which had Nakamura involved with it in a VIP party thing with the Street Profits and all that stuff. This was also the first time we saw the QR code that said "Come with me," which is the new QR code, and then we saw it again. That was really hard to scan, but it led you to the same game that led you to the same coordinates with Nakamura shows up here, looking all gangsta, and I tweeted out, "I'm gangsta Nakamura. I'm all for," because I remember in New Japan he was like almost he seemed like a crime boss sort of type of character when he was leading Chaos, and it was great. And then we go from there to Sami Zayn getting confronted by Madcap Moss and Ricochet, basically getting on people's nerves, saying that the Bloodline basically was going to say the Bloodline's treating him like shit and shit like that. Playing with his emotions is what I'm looking for, something like that. So Soho comes in and beats the ever living shit out of the jobbers, and Sami Zayn. I think there was a line that said Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn said that says like. I think he got the message, but I was gonna beat him up myself or something like that. It was pretty funny though. And we got a video package hyping up the Usos title reign. Then we got New Day versus Maximum Male Models. Nothing much came of this. But the best part of this is we're still getting those teases to the Max 2P going back to LA Knight, which I'm excited for because I love LA Knight is a better character in my opinion. He can talk, he can wrestle. He's got the it factor to be maybe not a world champion, but absolutely has the it factor to be like Intercontinental or United States champion. New Day win, of course. I guess that's another distraction. I guess this next match we had a pretty good match here. Between a surprisingly good match here between Otis and Braun Strowman. Otis is great. Braun Strowman is okay when he wants to be. This is Braun Strowman's first match back. This is Braun Strowman's first match since Backlash 2021, wherein he challenged Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. This is his first match since in WWE since then. I believe he's had a couple indie matches here and there. But Braun Strowman won after hitting the power bomb, and so I'm actually glad he went from the power slam to the power bomb because power bomb is just a great move in general. And then we have backstage from there, Caleb Braxton and the Brawling Brutes had an interview there. Butch, Pete Dunne. I'm not calling him Pete Dunne. Says it's fight night before Rich Holland says that they will battle the Usos to win the tag titles. Sheamus says that they love a good fight and says he'll be Gunther in 2 weeks from now. Says it'll be banger after banger because it was announced earlier today that on the season premiere of Friday Night SmackDown, we're going to have the rematch from Clash at the Castle, Gunther and Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm excited for that because that match at Clash at the Castle was fucking incredible. Then we had a promotional video for the Conor Cure stuff. We had Drew McIntyre promo. He comes out, challenges Kross to a strap match at Extreme Rules. Says he's going to basically beat his ass. And I was going to make a joke. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Then Kross comes out. Well, we hear Cross's music. Scarlett comes to the ring. Cross tries to jump Cross from behind, and Drew just beats the ever-living shit out of Cross with the strap. And at this point, I was almost going to make a joke on Twitter about Scarlett and strap matches. And then I realized there would be some thirsty people on the internet, so I wasn't going to go there. Then Scarlett got in the way of Cross before Drew can hit him with the strap again. They tried to use a fireball, which didn't go awful very well. And both Cross and Drew had to do it on the fly, do something on the fly. They figured it out. And then Cross hit the cross jacket and told Drew that he accepts his match for Extreme Rules. So that looks like it's going to be the main event, Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match, which is probably going to lead to the return of Bray Wyatt at that point. Next up, we go back from the break. Damage Control heads to the ring, followed by Raquel Gonzalez, because Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez. Once again, Raquel Gonzalez beats Dakota Kai because I don't know what do they do. What is it about Dakota? See, this one don't make no sense. Like, Triple H loves Dakota Kai, but not enough to have her beat Raquel Gonzalez. This happens after the distraction finish, because I'm assuming, I don't even think they got involved in the match at all. The shots just comes out there, just start beating people up, and I don't know what happened there, whether it was a misstep, but Io was just tossed out of the ring like nothing, like it was, I don't know, it was weird and stupid. Not a great match. The segment was terrible. You gotta get away. You've either gotta get these three away from Shotzi and Raquel, or don't book them in the match. That's just how it is. Then we go into the main event. So next week's show, I don't even remember I don't actually remember what was booked for next week's show. Oh, it was us. All right, so next week's show, I believe it's going to be Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa versus Madcap Moss and Ricochet. That was a match that was announced. I think there was another match announced that I missed. Oh, yes, it was Hit Row versus Los Lotharios, because during the night they beat up Hit Row in the party. Then we get the main event, incredible main event between the Brawling Brutes and the Usos for the tag titles. So close, but in the end, they came so close. But due to distraction by, again, another distraction finish, due to Imperium coming out and attacking Sheamus, because Sheamus was trying to stop Sami Zayn from throwing a chair into the ring. So the Usos pinned Pete Dunne for the win to retain the championships. And it's also, what I liked here is they're setting up, they're clearly building towards the match between Sheamus and Gunther in 2 weeks, so that's gonna be great. But yeah, that was basically it. They hit the 1D on Pete Dunne for the win, and you're still your tag team champions. It is the right call. The Usos, though, I wouldn't. Like I said last week, I wouldn't be opposed to the Brawling Brutes winning this match here. I did make a mistake on SmackDown. I thought this match was going to be at the pay-per-view. Obviously not. They may do something. I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on the Sami Zayn thing. But I do think that the people who should take the titles off of Sami Zayn are the titles off the Usos is Zayn and Kevin Owens. But yeah, that's SmackDown. That's all I have to say about SmackDown. SmackDown was pretty good show. One of Triple H's better shows, I would say. This is a short review, obviously. Not a lot else happened in a way. I did, like I said, I was going to talk about Rampage. I mean, I could go through the Rampage result for you guys. Give me a second. Like I said, Sting and Darby Allin defeated the House of Black after the whole thing with Muda. Action Bronson and Hook beat the ever-living shit out of Jericho's goons of Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Wardlow and Samoa Joe beat up Josh Woods and Tony Nese. Also, I believe Wardlow may have gotten injured in this match. That's what the report is. We don't know how severe it is. Sure. Let's do another interim championship match. Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeated Ray Phoenix in a fantastic match. Like I said, I did watch the show. This match was incredible. I really loved this match. My second favorite match of the night, next to the tag title match, obviously. So that's, and I believe I did miss this part. Christian came out he was still, he was going to be out for a while, but Christian came out and Luchasaurus beat the shit out of him. So we're going to eventually do Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy. I'm assuming for the pay per view, but the Full Gear. So there's that. Sammy Guevara defeated Eddie Kingston by disqualification. They're going to do this fucking storyline again. Jay Cargill defeated Diamante. Whatever. Hangman Page. You see how fast I went through that? I just don't care about Jay Cargill. Like, the only person that was capable of beating Jay Cargill is gone for a while. The only other person I could see doing that is Jamie Hayter, but that's not really what I care to see. I think Jay Cargill Jamie Hayter should do something else. So there's that. Dynamite. Sorry. Like I said, Hangman Page wins the Battle Royal by eliminating. Who else was actually? Who the fuck else was in this? Well, we don't really know. Moxley, not Moxley. Ricky Starks defeated Powerhouse Hobbs in the Lights Out match. This one we got next week. Then so they did announce next week some matches for next week. It's on Dynamite. It's gonna be I believe MJF is gonna be there. They just say that it's gonna be Moxley versus Juice Robinson in a AEW title eliminator. Saraya is gonna be speaking after her shocking debut on Dynamite, and I believe there was another match that was announced on the show. I'm not sure. Raw next week, we got more of this White Rabbit stuff because we got the coordinates for that whole thing. We don't know where that's going to go. We got the Panda Express versus Alpha Academy. Of course, Panda Express is Owens and Gargano. They'll be teaming for the very first time ever against the Alpha Academy. Damian Priest versus Matt Riddle is going to take place. Bianca Belair versus Io Sky is going to be taking place. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. All those matches on pay-per-views sound fantastic. So I'm expecting fantastic matches on Raw. And it's going to be in Canada, so that's even better. That's next week. I enjoyed tonight's episode of SmackDown. I actually did enjoy Rampage, but I was not going to review Rampage. It was a little too much for me. But I have been Matt the Misfit. Thank you when you were enjoying the episode of this episode of SmackDown review. And like I said, if you want to see more of this, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell notification, comment down below. Remember, guys, you got the poll up, which is up for a while more. I think another whole week, I guess. I'm gonna look at the poll of that for later. It's the retro pay-per-view review for November. Like I said, still up there. You have November to Remember 99, Survivor Series 01 and 02. And I believe the other one is not December to December. What's the other November? No, not WC. World War III 96. There it is. I can't remember what the name of it was. That is still up there. If it isn't in the tie, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the three that's in the tie and put it in a randomizer, and the show that is randomizedly picked is the one I'm gonna review for in place of Crown Jewel. So like I said, I will not be covering Crown Jewel for obvious reasons. For one, I don't care about the Logan Paul crap, nor do I give a shit about the Saudi Arabia shows. Even though Crown Jewel last year was incredible, because even though Crown Jewel last year was the best Saudi show they did. But yeah, like I said, Thank you for enjoying the podcast. I will see you Monday night for Raw, and maybe even something like a Bray Wyatt return. Who knows? I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening, and see you guys next week. Peace.